believe, but it's not a definite answer, it's a speculation, that the seats of the theater, did I tell you how many people it takes?
No.
14,300. I said 15, right? Yeah. Okay. They do believe that every single seat, because all the work was done at the quarries and then they would bring them here just to place them there, must have been through some sort of firing process, which made it come slightly closer to looking like marble. But as far as the absorbent part of the rock is concerned, not really operating like marble. Looking like it, but not being marble. Now, you can see that between the top of this rock and dirt, there's a little difference. It's open air. Winds in the winter might blow off a lot of it. When they were getting ready for the show, which is exactly what they do still, they would just bring, they wouldn't easily go for ordinary dirt, maybe sand preferably. So they would fill in the entire area of the circle and they would level things so it would actually come up to the top of that rock. And what was this rock? First of all, a point of reference, so everybody knew which is the center of the circle. So it was easier for performers to make steps on one side and the other, and they knew as a point of reference where to start and where to come back to. But on the other hand, this rock was a sacrificial spot. So when everybody had taken a seat, the audience was all here. Before any tragedies or any comedies, the first thing they would do on this rock was to sacrifice for the gods. It was a very important part of their culture and their lives. They feared the gods because they were only mortals. So by sacrificing, they believed that they kept them happy and content, and they would always have them on their side. This explains why in the middle of the rock it was worked in such a way so the blood of the animal that was sacrificed would get spilled right in there, and the kind of animal they would sacrifice here would be a goat. Will you allow me to give you the Greek word for goat?
Yes.
And then, as soon as I tell you the Greek word for that, you at the same time will start thinking if there's a word in English that you can recognize based on that, okay? Tragos.
Tragedy.
Tragedy, exactly. So it sounds like one word, but it's not. It's two words put together, sounding like one, and it means an ode. Ode was religious kind of songs, like hymns, right? A hymn to the goat. Poor goat needed that because that was the end of the life. But the god that they sacrificed to was Dionysus, guys. Sacred animal of Dionysus would be goat. And if you don't recognize Dionysus, maybe I could say Bacchus, the Roman name of the god. He was the god of wine, the god of drunkenness, the god of holidays, right? And it was a festival, after all, that they were celebrating here. Now, I want you to close in a little bit more on that circle towards me. Thank you. More on that side, please. What I'm going to do is, I will clap my hands, not letting my hands go any higher than your shoulders, which means someone, being me, is trying to make sounds with an obstacle around. You just made the wall around me, right, with your body. Thank you. And at some point, I'll just be touching toes. We do have distractions, yes, because when the show is on, there's dead silence around here. The only noise, because it's an open-air theater, might be lighters of Greeks lighting their cigarettes every now and then, because even the theater cannot stop us for that. Anyway, we have distractions and noise. Nevertheless, you will be able to feel the strength and the clarity of the sounds traveling out there. But you know why I asked you to be here? Because I want you to have a first-hand experience, not only of the way that the sounds travel out there. The most amazing thing, and that's another thing for which they don't have an answer, is the way that the sounds with the same strength and the same clarity return right back to where they start. At some point, low clapping, and then it will go a little stronger and you can feel one and the other. So just focus and feel now the strength of it. Look at it, I'm not putting any effort, yes?
Wow.
Can you feel it?
It reminds me of a singing bowl.
And besides this obstacle, the wall of your bodies, you can see that I'm doing this with my back turned, which means that my body can be considered as an obstacle for the sound. I'm just facing the other direction, really. Guys, feel this. That was just touching hands, and I'm going to go a little stronger now. Can you feel it? It's as if the microphones are there. So we're talking about stereo sounds. And this is why, when the show is on, they do not place microphones at all. Not because they don't need them, but if they do, they will get negative effects back on the voices of the performers and the members of the chorus. Sounds like a duck.
Yeah.
Can you feel it?
Yeah. Actually, no, it really reminds me of singing bowls.
Yeah. What is very difficult, guys, sometimes, it's actually performers who are always used to being part of acts indoors, and they come here for the first time to perform or to sing, and they tell them, you're not having microphones, and they start shaking, really, and shivering, because they think, how am I going to do this, until they actually stand anywhere in the circle. We did it in the middle, because I wanted to show you the sacrificial spot as well. Anywhere on the inside of the circle, right, left, here, there, as long as we're on the inside, it's exactly the same. What about the stage, which at the balcony? You see the ropes on the outside of the circle though, right? Okay, guys, because the stage was mainly the balcony in between the two floors, they made it out of wood, and they extended it so the performers were higher but still on the inside of the circle. Yeah? Okay.